I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw, I didn't want to put him down early. You all know I was handcuffed. I don't want to say anything that I will be regretting in the future. But all I can say now is the first 20 seconds was enough for me to end Jake Paul.
I don't know if enough has been made of the fact that, I mean, it was absolutely devastating. But the fact that he had awareness immediately to go like he looked at the crowd like, oh, shit. Like, wow.
He goes,
it wasn't like,
cracked.
yeah.
I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it and that he could do well for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually just deal with the fact that Anthony Joshua is going to connect with a bomb.
Yeah.
And breaks his jaw in 2 places.
Yeah.
Jake has spirit. He has some heart. He tried his best. And I take my hat off to him because, number one, a lot of fighters haven't got in the ring with me and Jake did. And secondly, even when he got knocked down, he kept on trying to get up.
When you really sit back and examine this fight, it just does not feel normal at all, and that is exactly where the conspiracy mindset slowly begins to wake up.
Are you telling me that Netflix probably emphasized, listen guys, take this as long as you can?
So the bottom line is, take nothing from this. It was an entertainment product designed to get Netflix
But last week you said it wasn't scripted.
I think that ultimately Anthony Joshua's approach to it was what I said at the beginning. What I said was,
now you're telling us Netflix passed on a message, guys.
I'm saying that Netflix's modus operandi is to operate with this kind of principle, which is stretch the entertainment. Anthony Joshua goes in. I framed the question to these boys that have been in the ring. Could he go in there on an under-aroused mindset because he knows what he's dealing with? No. He goes in as a killer. He went in there with a mindset, knowing what he was dealing with, and took his time and had no reason to do anything other than get him out of there when he felt like.
You start noticing small details first, like the tongue-out move Jake did in the Tyson fight. Then he does it again here. Suddenly people ask, wait, is that a habit or a cue? That is where rumors start growing that maybe Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua was meant to follow a script.
People will criticize you for going 6 rounds with Jake Paul. How do you feel about that?
I deserve it.
Why? Come on.
Because, like, we're elite fighters. Like, so I put myself in the shoes of a coach. If I was coaching Anthony Joshua and he went 6 rounds with Jake Paul, I would get him back in the gym tomorrow, give him a bit of a beating, and we're getting straight back to work because I'll be like, how are you letting this kid take you 6 rounds? Are you crazy? But I can't go back in time.
And look, I understand it. Netflix does not do short stories. They do long seasons, slow burns, episode arcs, cliffhangers, dramatic pauses. That are you still watching energy? The idea is that Netflix wanted rounds, tension, dialogue, and gloves, not a quick one-scene knockout.
Period. Slipped out the ring with the cornerman. Slipped out the ring and he thought, wow, this is for real. And even a little jab that just gently missed him, you could see him thinking, what is this about? So it was a case of survival. And to me, I didn't want Anthony Joshua to knock him out, if I'm honest with you. I thought, you've got to make this kid have a reality check. And that's what he actually did, because Jake Paul himself said, I was shattered. You know, this guy, everything I thought I could do, I couldn't do. Boxing looks so easy on the TV. Boxing looks so, matter of fact, no big deal. Until you get punched, and then reality kicks in. And Jake Paul, he has done a brilliant job of promoting himself.
And maybe that worked before, because honestly, Tyson felt like he followed the plan. Joshua is different. Different man, different mentality. AJ does not stream. He does not binge. He clocks in, does the work, and clocks out. So if there was a script, Joshua glanced at it, nodded politely, and threw it away. The moment AJ stopped pacing and started punching, the entire production was cancelled. No finale, no build-up, just a hard right hand and the pretty boy's jaw taking an unplanned trip south.
Nation South.
All right, so we're here at the after party. I have to be honest, the vibes are way more chill than I thought. He's doing great. How are you feeling?
Never been better.
Yeah, he's absolutely crushing it.
Bring out the vodka.
Yeah, we're doing great in here. A double break in his lower jaw.
Oh, your jaw.
Yeah,
Science.
So science is right there and there. The way I see it, well, you'll be back in a couple weeks, getting ready to fight Canelo.
Canelo in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So Canelo, get ready. We're coming for you.
And that is the funniest part of all this, because if it was scripted, boxing did not get the message. Heavyweights do not rehearse. One man tried to act, the other brought physics, and Netflix learned the same lesson we all did. You can plan the episode, but once the bell rings, the sport writes its own ending.
I got knocked out by Anthony Joshua this past Friday night. And so I want to break this down from a medical perspective. I'm a neurosurgeon with over 25 years of experience. And so, what happens is when you get hit in the head with that kind of force, like in boxing, our brain actually moves inside our skull and it can bump into the skull, which is a firm structure, and cause bruising of the brain, even bleeding, but it causes repeated trauma to the brain. And over years and years of this happening, people can get what's called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE syndrome. And it's almost like a disease, because with repeated trauma to the brain, and that can lead to memory problems, mood swings, even trouble with movements. And eventually people can develop dementia, like Alzheimer's disease and even Parkinson's.
And right after all the script talk, tongue theories, and Netflix season debates, Eddie Hearn walks in like the guy who actually read the contract and brought a stopwatch. I listen to him and think, yeah, this is the most grounded energy all night. Eddie basically says, everyone relax. AJ was not chasing highlights, he was boxing like an adult. He admits honestly, yes, we thought Joshua might finish quicker, but those extra rounds were not a conspiracy. They were experience minutes, and AJ took them calmly, without panic.
Out there, he was just like, okay, this is how it's going to be. I'll just cut him off eventually. I'll beat him up and I'll break him down. What he said he would do is he would break him down and he would, finish him in boxing. And he's probably done both of those. I mean, definitely did the first part. But the injury is a shocker, and it's not one that you can necessarily bounce back from. Like, I know that at the moment it's like, but especially when you're not, where you got lots of other stuff in your life as well, So, but I think Jake Paul deserves a huge amount of respect because he did it in the first place. And he landed.
And I respect how fair he is to Jake, because he is not praising him for clicks. He is just honest. Jake moved. Jake survived. Jake landed a couple of right hands from the sky, and AJ ate them like warm-up shots. When Eddie laughs off the claim that Jake wobbled AJ, that is promoter sarcasm at its finest. Maybe AJ blinked. Maybe he adjusted his mouthpiece. But wobble? Relax. What really lands is Eddie saying, what did you expect Jake to do? Stand still and volunteer for a highlight? This was not bravery versus fear. This was survival versus physics.
If they won rounds, MVP would have gone, look!
Yeah, definitely.
But so I don't believe he won any rounds on the scorecards. Yeah. But listen, maybe he did, I don't know. But he definitely didn't wobble AJ. But he did land. He landed his biggest shots. Yeah. With a couple of, like right hands from the gods. But he's just not big enough. He doesn't punch hard enough to I'm sure it got his attention, but he certainly wasn't wobble. Yeah. But he did really well. And by the way, people moaning, I think it was Sergio Mora. Who, listen, I love Sergio, but he's like, he's a disgrace. Like, he ran. It's like, mate, what? Yeah. Like, he also held his feet and threw. He didn't not throw any punches. Mm-hmm.
Loud, dramatic, and somehow we're all still glued to.
I give Jake I've said in every interview, full respect to Jake Paul. Yeah. And, I think what he done was admirable. So I would like to apologise to Mrs. Paul. I didn't